Yeah.
Hey,
All right,
actually,
what's your
funny,
question?
Amit, I was going to
So-
send you a screenshot because Palantir was the only green position in my portfolio the other day. I
Yeah.
was like, we have reached the upside down world from strange.
Well, you
strange-
should have bought Google. It's been doing pretty
Crazy
well.
times.
Anyway, it's Mylan.
Yeah. So I've been looking at PayPal the last couple of weeks. I'm sure you guys have seen it's just been crashing, despite like what I thought were pretty good earnings. Like they crushed all their numbers, like revenue, operating income, all that stuff. They seem like they crushed everything. And I guess my one concern is like their subscriber growth hasn't been improving much. Like that's kind of stayed the same or dropped a little bit. And so that kind of made me think, maybe I don't want to invest in this company. And I feel like PayPal is kind of like for older users, so maybe it isn't going to grow. But then I learned that they own Braintree, which is like something that operates in the background. So a lot of the times on like websites like Airbnb, like you're paying on Airbnb, but you're actually using a PayPal product. So like, I guess I just kind of wanted to get you guys' thoughts on
And
PayPal.
Venmo.
Like,
Don't forget about Venmo.
right. Yeah. They have Venmo too. Yeah. So I guess like all those things, I've just been trying to like figure out, like, is this a play that I want to make? And is this like slowing subscriber growth or even decreasing subscriber growth, like a big enough issue to where I shouldn't invest? Like, just kind of want to get you guys' thoughts on that.
Vitali, you own this stock. What are your thoughts?
I'm sad I own it.
Well, you had a thesis originally when you bought it, so why aren't you DCAing? Like,
Okay, so yeah, because I thought fintech had more of a moat, and I've come to realize over doing much more research over the last year or two that fintech itself has no moat. There is no
Okay.
IP. There is nothing special
Wow.
about banks, about fintech at all. Besides the network is important. So PayPal does have a massive network, but in terms of the tech itself, insignificant. And we brought up SoFi, Galileo, that might be significant, but otherwise, I would say all fintech is shit. Now, this is the thesis that even I'm looking at PayPal again, by the way, to buy some sort of calls or to buy something on it, because this is the thesis. If PayPal is IBM, we're all screwed, right? Because at some point, even Warren Buffett was like, we got to buy IBM. It's like, it's the leader in its pack. If this is happening where subscriber growth is just drying up and it's not growing, then you no longer have a growth company and they better pay a dividend. So that's over. So this is the bet right now. If you think it's IBM, there's no reason to buy PayPal. But if it is undervalued because all their other metrics were good, besides the most important one, which is growing their subscribers, and the TT, what do they call it? Total revenue or
TTM.
trailing 12 months revenue, yeah.
No. It's the total payment,
transaction,
yeah,
revenue.
TPV or something like that. I forgot the term, but total payment volume. If that is sort of growing, but if it also slows down, you have to watch that. So I would say I'm no longer investing in fintech. Me personally, I'm just not interested in it. Too many other stocks that are down that are better. There's Google's, there's Amazon's that are down. PayPal is just not as interesting. But looking at the price action right now and the fact that it's at a 5-year low, just speaking on that part, there is probably a trade here. I think that's happening. That there's going to be.
But hold on. Is there a reason the market's giving it a 5-year low? Like, is there something deeper to this other than
because they believe it's IBM right now? They believe it's over. The growth is done. PayPal has grown. That's it. And the fact that it's separated from eBay, it happened years ago, but still, they're still feeling the effects of separating from eBay and losing all that money that they were getting from eBay. So unless they get some sort of massive influx or a new client or something big happens, what is the growth vector here? I don't know.
So that's kind of why I brought up Braintree. That's why it's so interesting to me, because it seems like Braintree is growing. Like that part of the business seems like it's growing.
What does Braintree do in a sentence? What do they do?
So like if you're on Airbnb and you're paying on Airbnb, you're actually using a PayPal product. It just doesn't say
API
PayPal. Yeah. And so they have a bunch of like big vendors that you've heard of. So like that aspect of the business is growing. So like I was wondering, like maybe that sort of counteracts this growth that they're not seeing in their like classic app. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm wording that well.
No, I don't think investors give a shit about the Braintree acquisition. Obviously they don't care, but you might have a growth story because of Braintree, but it doesn't seem like the market cares.
The question is right now, when you go on a website and you see a link for PayPal, for Braintree, for Amazon, for Google, do you care which one as long as it's there? So I think
not really.
I think that the problem is right now, Apple is eating some of their lunch. People think that this is a dying company. They're losing all this market share. I'm not saying that's true. I still think they have a growth vector. I think there's a trade to be made, but is this the best investment currently right now? I don't know. There's a lot of great things that are down, and I don't want to say the names, but we've heard them here before.
TFC.
Truest.
TTC.
You gotta look at that fucking stock, man.
I
I'm
think,
gonna do something on this stock.
Piggybacking off of what Vitaly said, yeah, I think there's a trade to be made here, but I don't know how you structure your portfolio, but like when you can only focus on so many companies at a time, right? And so
Sure.
I ask myself before I'm going to invest in a company, like it's like dating someone, right? Are you really going to want to have to keep track of like PayPal news? Like, does that sound exciting to you?
Point. It's a good
to
point.
be like, I'm gonna have to. You have to protect that investment, and how you protect that
Sure.
investment is by information. So, do you want to like suddenly follow all these people that are talking about PayPal on Twitter, or would you rather follow other companies that may be a little bit more exciting, or have their hands in other things, or maybe they're emerging businesses? So, it's not to say that there isn't money to be made there, but do you want to spend any amount of time out of your investment day following up on news on PayPal, protecting that investment? Personally, no. Like Vitaly's saying, maybe there's a trade. Maybe you buy, a 2-year leap. You buy a couple contracts and you let it.
I do want to point there is a massive trade, and I have been seriously looking at it too.
What's
PE
the
is now
trade? What's the trade?
The
What's the
PE
trade?
is 13 right now.
Yeah.
So if
And-
PayPal
Oh,
is
forward PE, right?
the forward PE
Yeah,
is 13.
forward PE.
But still, if that stays low, 10, just like Meta went down to something stupid. PayPal, if they have any real growth, and they're supposed to keep up with around the double-digit growth, they're supposed to do this. This should be a 20 plus PE. There is a doubling of the stock that is going to come eventually, I believe. So there is
And
a trade.
also,
But once
the
again,
company is also buying back a ton of their stock. Like they just said that in the earnings report too. So like I've been thinking about that too.
So
I don't know if that impacts your
Dog whistle,
decision
right?
at all.
That's a dog.
it does. It does. It's basically like we're buying back our shares, where we're taking off the float. That means the stock price will have to lift in either case. As long as they keep up
EPS
this,
has to go up.
as long as
Right.
they keep up this double-digit growth, which I think they will, by the way. Once again, there is a great trade to be made. I do believe it. But I don't know. To Carlos's point, I'm focusing on so many other good companies.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's hard to like want to buy more PayPal. Even I own PayPal. I own a lot of PayPal, by the way. Don't
okay,
tell my wife.
question for you: Do you see a podcast called PayPal Weekly being successful? Think about that.
No, maybe
Would you-
not.
right?
How about
But
SoFi
I'm
Weekly?
much
If
more
it's a
interested in
value
making
stock, I don't
money
think that
than, like,
matters.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a stupid valuation, even if there's no media coverage on it.
Yes.
I mean, like I think
It is a
TFC
stupid
is a
valuation.
good buy too, right? Like I don't know if there would be a weekly podcast on that either, right? That is
On
one
what?
that's not a great opportunity.
TFC.
TCF, sorry, TCF.
No,
Oh, TFC.
Truist. I forget
yeah.
the
There
ticker.
should be.
TCF. There should be a podcast on TTCF.
But see, here's
It's
the
called
thing.
Finance Junkies.
But here's the thing about it. Most businesses that you want to invest in, they're boring companies. They're the ones that are
Sure.
going to survive the time. This is a bank that's been around since 18 fucking something. Like
Wow, he's
it's
pivoted, guys.
old. It's been merged with a lot of stuff. So I think what it is there's a lot of times where innovation and disruption, they come around and people are like, oh my God, the brick and mortars are dead. No one's ever going to use a brick and mortar bank again. And people don't realize that, look, there's still value in a lot of these things. So every time people sell off like the status quo, thinking that this is going to be completely disrupted, don't think that there's actually still a lot of value that's out there, especially for something that's down significantly, paying a great dividend, has like multiple income sources and businesses. So when you do a deep analysis, you're like, wait a second, why am I paying PayPal, whose growth is starting to slow down and their valuation is still relatively high, especially looking at it from a PE perspective, because it's a PE right now is 26. Forward PE may be a little bit like more, better. But on the other hand, Truist is only a 6 PE. The price to book is 0.6. So they have
The
more
average PE
assets
for a
than
bank is
liability.
11, by the way.
Yeah. So when you think about it in the short term, while there is all this chaos in the market where everyone's like, oh my God, regional banks are dead forever, where no one's, dude, that is the place that I want to be, because I want to find who everyone is missing, buy them, hold on, and literally walk on the other side and get a nice 70, 80 to 100%.
I think
return.
to summarize what Chris is saying as well, you're looking at PayPal, and a lot of people are, because it's like, all right, valuation's getting stupid, market doesn't respect it, 5-year low, forget 52-week low. And then Chris is like, what is a sector that is solid, but the market is irrationally throwing it away, or rationally, because the regional banking crisis is a little bit of a big deal, and there's deep value that the market threw out. PayPal's been thrown out since November 2021, all the way down from 300. The market's been throwing it out, versus companies that are in a sector just like Meta that got thrown out because it was the next MySpace when all of tech got thrown out, and then Chris and Vitaly made a fuck ton of money on Meta. I think that's what we're looking for, versus just, another company that's down right now.
Yeah, and when TikTok came around, people were like, oh my God, Meta's dead. Everyone sell Meta. And when they sold it off, we were like, wait a second. This still got 3 fucking billion people using all their platform. That is where you want to be. When everyone, you know what they say with Buffett, when everyone is selling, you should be looking into buying, right? The question is just make sure it's a quality company with good returns, great net income, good management that's solid. And literally all you have to do is just chill. And then
Well, I want to point out PayPal is that company. They are a solid
but the street
company.
doesn't respect it. That's the thing. The street's not being irrational about it. I don't think they're being irrational.
No, they're being irrational. I'm telling you, there is a trade here. I don't know how long this is going to take, and maybe I think someone pointed out there's a new CEO coming at the end of the year. Just changing the CEO could be a catalyst for it to go back to a 20 PE. That's the way the market works, dude. It's a trade.
But you said fintech has no moat. Are you sure the street's being irrational here?
Apple can come up with Apple came out with a card. People are starting to put money in, like, this Apple Bank that's underwritten, let's say, by JP Morgan. How many other companies do you think are going to do the same thing and try to take a little piece of the transactions that happen?
That's my point. That's something. Maybe the street's
but this is the TikTok
thing.
It is irrational.
Apple. People are trusting Apple with their money, say, over JP Morgan, right? It's like.
That's fair.
No, but that's the TikTok thing, because Meta, when Meta was dropping to 80, it was like TikTok is winning, they're killing them, Meta's dead, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing. Apple is going to eat some of the lunch, of course, and TikTok ate some of, but Meta still makes a shit ton of money. Okay. And there's many ways for these good companies to make a lot of money, and PayPal will continue to be used. I use it all
PayPal
the time
every day too. So.
Yeah, I use it all the time. There is a
And
growth story. It's just not the 30% growth story that maybe we want as growth investors. But having said that, I still have my shares. I'm not selling them. I think there is a trade to be made, and I think it'll go back up to triple digits. I'm sorry. And it's going to happen. It's going to take some time.
And don't expect the incumbents to just sit down and take it, because that's why you had Zelle. Zelle right now is probably one of the most popular applications right now being used to transfer money and everything else. And all the banks, they got together and said, you know what? If we don't do something about it, fintech is going to disrupt us. So what are we going to do? We're going to get ahead of them and develop our own platform.
Well, the Cash App. A lot of the contractors that I hire, they only use the Cash App, which I'm like.
So Cash App is number one, like in the App Store. Cash App's number one, Venmo's number 2, PayPal's number 3. Right?
Yeah. Mostly with employees that are service bases, it's all Zelle. With contractors, it's all Cash App, and between friends, it's all Venmo. Like that's essentially how I use those 3 apps.
I use all Venmo, even for all the rentals I have. Everybody pays through Venmo. But the thing is, once again, the moat. How much money do they make from? They make nothing from those people paying me. That's the thing. So they need some idiot to click on, I need my money right away. Do you know what I mean?
That's so true.
Transfer,
I always wondered how they make money.
So this is what I'm saying. The moat is idiotic. Like this is not a great.
Or it's like Credit Karma. Credit Karma, it's a website that's running. The only time they make money, like they get all your data, they scour your credit report, they make you an offer, and they only make money if you click on one of the offers and take like one of their personal loans. Then they make a small piece of it. It's
now granted, PayPal makes money from businesses though, because I conduct some business on there and I have to pay a fee. So Venmo doesn't do that.
Oh yeah.
And so you know what small business people tell me? Pay me as a friend.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, I don't care.
That happened to me. That happened to me where a client sent me too much money, but it was done through a business and they couldn't get their money back. I couldn't send them their money back. And this was like a month that they locked up their cash. And the dude was like, he was in Hawaii. He couldn't pay his rent. It sucked for him. But then I was like, just pay me as a friend. And it was over.
Yeah. And so one of the things is just a lot more people are starting to use Zelle because it's already part of the ecosystem of their normal banking system. So they don't have to do anything extra. They don't have to transfer money to another account. So like I said, there are multiple, and this is where I think VITALY is actually really correct in that fintech does not have a moat. Because if the traditional banks can come up and just say, you know what, fuck it, we'll do an app just like SoFi, plus we have brick and mortar, we're going to win the fucking debate. Easily.
Or so at some point, just like I'm telling you, I did not like what Capital One turned ING into. I really liked the simplicity of it, but ING just went away. ING was like my preferred bank. It was a fantastic bank, and then it just went away. One day to the next, just went away. I used to love ShareBuilder. Guess what? That Capital One bought that too. It's like that's the danger with these. They get gobbled up.
I want to just make one other comment to the moat thing. I've thought about this long and hard because I did lose a lot of money on PayPal. Like, why are they not winning, right? And then I thought about all the other companies that are winning, like Meta, right? Like, why are they back up and PayPal is not? And the reason is this moat thing. But then you go a little bit deeper. There is no network between people that is sticky. That's the problem. Meta has a sticky network between people. Like Instagram, it's hard to get away from it because my friends are there and their friends are there and whatever. If I use PayPal to pay somebody, and then the next day I'm using
Cash App
cash.
Yeah.
There's nothing
or Zelle. Yeah.
like Venmo's trying to do the feed.
So
but
real quick, why were you buying it in 2021? What? Oh, because you thought there was a larger moat.
I believe that PayPal was winning this like online payments thing, and obviously that I'm not saying they're not getting good market share and they're not going to grow, but once again I realized this main point that between people it doesn't matter. So if that doesn't matter, that means there's no moat between people. So even if I love PayPal, I can't convince anybody to use it.
But,
listen,
to your point, you can't make a social media. You can't make everything a social media. This is what Venmo tried to do. It's like, I don't want me paying my pool guy to be this thing that
no, it doesn't have to be social media. I'm also talking about like Tesla. When you have a Tesla in the driveway, someone comes up to you and talks to you. They're like, "Oh, I really want that."
Vitali's saying there's no ecosystem. There's no brand. There's nothing.
Let me take you for a drive. And then he's like, "Oh, this is really cool. I want that." You don't go to a PayPal app and like, "Oh, I want that." You know what I mean?
Don't forget about the legislative changes that recently came around where the reporting of anything excess of, I think, $500 or something has to be reported.
600.
600, right?
Fucking bullshit, bro.
Now imagine you're a small business. You want to get $800, $900 service. Now, what are you going to do? Yeah, you could split it up into like 2 different things and all this other nonsense. But right now, a lot of people, they have to report it up and they might not be reporting that income, which is
Cash App.
Okay. Yeah. So now you can't really use it. Like, what's his name? I think Hindenburg. Remember the whole thing with Cash App?
That's why the rappers do Cash App. All right, we got one more. We got one more person to end out the stream. This is a very special person who joined the stream. Mr. Alex Karp himself is here today.
Whatever.
Alex Karp, what's up, baby?
Yeah, turn it up. There you go.
Did you guys?
And this is why it's not a good idea sometimes to do this.
This is so sad, bro. I thought this guy was actually.
Dude, if someone is not with their real name or their face,
that was Alex Karp. That was Alex Karp spending the money from the shares.
So this is the rule, right? Okay, so this is the. I don't know if we want to make people have to show their face.
Yeah,
why not? We show our face.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we should. Okay, we should.
Yeah.
Yo, did you?
Well, that person just made the decision for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's the guy, right? He's the guy that came on the plane trying to get the bomb. Now he ruined it for everybody.
You ruined it for everybody.
You put the bomb on your shoes, and now we can't wear shoes on planes anymore.
People watch this show with their kids, mom, dads, and sons watch the show. We hit the fucking
Alex Karp got banned. Exactly.
Oh man.
All right.
Okay.
Now,
real quick, did you guys catch the pod last week, Vitaly, on Thursday?
I watched a little bit and I turned it off.
I enjoyed the part.
We were that boring for you.
I enjoyed the.
I'm sorry. I'm not a bank lover. I just don't even like the topic too much. I'll talk about it.
You need to look into TFC, man. I don't. Well, what I'm saying is there's a fan who joined and he was a little tipsy as well, and me and Chris had to deal with that.
Oh, I did watch that part.
Yeah, that was also very interesting.
Troy, right?
All right. So new rule: if you come on, your face has to be on. The guy ruined it for everybody. I'm sorry if you have anxiety, but if you're gonna be on the show, you might as well just put your face on, ask us questions.
What is the What would be the?
Well, I'm saying if people have questions, but they don't want to show their face, they could just be audio. Like that's fine, but it makes it more fun if you have your face. And
it's nonsense.
No, you're right.
Show your face.
It's nonsense. Honestly, yeah, I just wanted to. After watching that, I just wanted to revisit that conversation about Twitter. About the acquisition and see how
you guys later.
You notice how like you notice how for months they were saying like, oh my god, he's got to announce a new CEO. There's a Twitter overhang, and then as soon as he announced the CEO, Tesla tanks. It's like you can't win.
No, you don't have to be sober. That is not a rule.
It's not like dirt shit faced drunk, but you don't have to be so super sober.
No,
shit faced drunk would be kind of funny. I don't know.
Maybe we'll do one of those. Actually, this is a question we should post. That we've talked about this, or at least I've talked about this in the WhatsApp. It's like I'm thinking that maybe we should do one edition, just even a one timer, where we get together super late, like super late for you guys, like 3 a.m. for you guys, and like 5 a.m. for me or something, so that we can be live for all the international folks.
Oh, like do a podcast for people who like are in the
because they can never participate in the chat because they always catch it later. And since we're doing a show that does rely and interact with the chat, it would be cool, just even if it's one time we try it out. We do a podcast where it's like, I don't know, say 3 o'clock in the morning for you guys, like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. for me, and try to catch those people in London and the UK live and see and to have them be able to participate in the chat.
Yeah, that's dope. We'll do it one day.
Wasn't Johnny supposed to come on and ask a question or
Johnny's not coming on? I don't know why Johnny's not coming on.
Johnny's going to say, when are you buying more Enovix?
No,